We on?
We're live.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Muni Misfits. My name is Chris Larson, head golf professional at Osgood. Oh, there's an update. We have an
Breaking
update.
news.
Yeah. Here, you guys keep going here. Oh, okay.
Breaking
That's
news.
good to know.
Breaking news.
It's straight up from Osgood. We got some important stuff going on out there. So, anyways, it's snowy today, boys.
First snowfall of the year.
Yeah. Were you guys singing Christmas carols in your house, mixing up some hot cocoa? What does this mean for the golf courses now? Now that we got snow on the ground.
Oh, we're done. That's for sure. Our last day was Tuesday, so
Yeah.
just perfect timing.
Now, as far as the golf courses are concerned, everyone's asking. Now, snow kind of puts a boom. We're pretty much done when that happens. But prior to that, we were closed. A handful of days prior to the snow, and were you guys getting some questions as to why? Why are you guys not open? I mean, the days weren't that great, but I mean, were you getting any questions regarding that?
I think we always get questions, but our marketing group does such a nice job of putting education out there that people are starting to understand that the superintendents and their staffs have things that they need to accomplish on those days, and it's not just like any day can work because there are some parameters in temperature, there are parameters in moisture, there's some parameters in wind. So we've tried to give our superintendents enough time to get their uh, procedures done before it snows. And I think this year worked out I mean, they were on Wednesday, which was a beautiful day. Wednesday, I think all of our superintendents and their staffs were crazily trying to get all their applications down and do their stuff. So
I think this is one of those years though where we really haven't had any gray area. It was like we had summer, and then we transitioned for like a week or two of fall, and then all of a sudden it was like done. And um, it's surprising how tight that window got at the end for that first snowfall. So hopefully, the superintendents are in a good spot right now, getting all their work done, because they were the driving force. Like, hey guys, we gotta be thinking about wrapping this thing up because we got snow on the horizon. So, but yeah, it sounds like, I mean, Rose Creek and Edgewood, as far as the soups there, they got everything done
yeah,
that they needed
on
to.
Wednesday we were open through Tuesday, and Wednesday was a nice day. So they did a lot of prep work to make sure that they could try to get as many things done on Wednesday as they could. And that being applications, chemical applications seem to be the two things that they need to get done to come into the spring in a reasonable shape. So and it varies again, right? Every superintendent's a little bit different on what they like to do.
Right.
Jason at Edgewood likes not have once he sprays greens with his final application, he needed two things. One, a freezing temperature, which I don't think he got, but two, he doesn't want people traipsing around after he does it. So
Right.
they did get all their stuff done. They started at 6 a.m. So they were out there with lights on. I know that, and they didn't get done till later in the day. So they got a nice, calm, full day to get their stuff done, and then it went. Again, would as golfers would we rather have what we had, where September, October were perfect all the way up until it wasn't, and then we're closed, or would you rather have a little bit of a style where you kind of wait, kind of slowly kind of gets there?
Yeah. I always said, like, if we could end up being like the middle of April and you could get through the middle of October and you could just have perfect weather, that would be ideal. You'd have 6 really good months. Unfortunately, the opening of the season's always a little bit of a compromise. You're trying to make sure that we're doing everything correct, that we're opening with good conditions, and then the close, making sure, like you say, as far as the superintendents have enough time to adequately prepare. And those things obviously are weighed very carefully. I mean, we start talking about closings as early as October 1st. I mean, we're already starting to look at, like, hey, what's going on out in the front? What needs to get done? And we kind of analyze that on a consistent basis all the way till the very end. And so, yeah, this year's forecast, I mean, over the past weekend, I mean, it turned quickly. Yep. And there's this, a lot of times people will always look at, like, well, yeah, but next Thursday it's going to be 45 or 46.
Have you looked at the 30-day forecast, Matt?
But
Have you looked way out? The average is looking like it's going to be in the 40s.
But summer forecasts are hard enough. But I think in the fall, especially, it just seems like things can fluctuate so quickly. And yes, it could get really warm, but it also could be very, very cold. And unfortunately, when you look at the highs, it's always late in the day. So, it's 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock before you're getting those highs. And we're only staying light until a certain period of time where the days are very, very short. So it's tough. And yeah, like Greg had said, they had a perfect day on Wednesday. And so I know at Rose Creek too, they were able to get it all done as far as their spray applications in one day because of they're able to get out very, very early. Typically, they're always asking for 2 days because you could have frost. You may not get out there until 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning, and you're only going to probably have until about 4 o'clock. So it was really good for them. Um, and so as a result, that's just going to give us a better chance coming into the spring of the season that our golf courses are in very healthy condition. And so I think it also helped us, as far as we didn't get a lot of people that I heard anyway that were, complaining like, oh, why don't you stay open a little bit later? It was a little bit easier because of the temperature forecast being so gross and that everybody else kind of wanting to close at the same time. So there was, we might have had a golf course or two golf courses around here that might have stayed a day longer, but that was about it. Everybody was done. So it makes it a little bit easier. And I think, like you said, Chris, because of the long, nice season we've had, I mean, as far as through October, I think people felt like they were pretty satisfied with the amount of golf they got in.
I'd say, two things. One, again, kudos to our marketing department for getting ahead of everything and making sure everyone's informed as to why we need to close. The intricate process that the whole thing is more than just putting a stake in the ground and saying we're closed today because of snow. There's more stuff that goes on. And then I do think that, the fact that this golf season was just so awesome. I mean, holy cow, we had a lot of golf. So we're going to hit on that part too. We're going to talk about some stats in Fargo golf this year because this may not have been our calculations, mathematicians here, we don't think that this is the best year, but it's like certainly, is it top? What do you think? Top two? Top three. So personally, I think that, when we were sitting we opened May 1 this year. Osgood did. And honestly, that's a little bit later, than we would like, right? We have some things at Osgood that we had, we got to pull covers and things like that. And it was kind of a crummy April, right? But we're kind of sitting there in May going, man, I hope this year shapes up. But we didn't have any rainouts. We didn't have, we had a handful. There's only a couple of days where we didn't allow carts on the golf course. The driving range was almost always open with the exception of a couple of days. So as far as Osgood is concerned, I felt like our numbers were nutso. So I want to say thank you to the golfing public. Like, you crushed it this year. Hopefully you felt like you got your money's worth. I feel like we had a very, very busy Osgood golf course along with all the rest of you guys. Are you feeling the same thing?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it for us, obviously it was a little bit shorter than that only because of the river.
Sure.
But I mean, once we got to that, and Matt talks about this a lot, April can be really not a very nice weather month. And so it really, we'd love to get open in March and have a perfect, 7.5 months. Doesn't always work like that. But once we got going to play golf, even in May, the weather was very, we had a couple rain days, but not very many. And it wasn't super windy on a consistent basis. Got really hot and really dry for a while, but playing golf, that's okay. So, and until the 23rd of October, we really didn't have hardly any cold weather to speak of. So we'd obviously like it to be longer, but it was the areas that we had were very good.
So do we have official numbers here on Fargo Golf? Do you have those? Otherwise, we can stall. If you need us to stall, we're good at that. I
can't hear you. I think like 147,000 rounds, something like that.
1,000, 147,226 was our total round count for 23.
Yes, so this was actually the second best year.
Second best year. Okay.
Second to 2021 at 157,000 rounds.
Oh.
And to kind of tell you where golf is at right now, we've had 3 of the best 4 years since 2020, you know, and 2 of those for sure were, I mean, well, for us, April 28th at Rose Creek, Prairie in May, and Edgewood would have probably been in even much later than that, at least on a year or 2 of there. So, you know, so much of those numbers, I think, are, like I say, just contingent as far as on openings and weather and flood and whatnot. So you can kind of see, I mean, it has been very, very busy since the pandemic.
So golf is in a good spot. We got 3 out of the best 4 years in the last, or three of the best 4 in the last 3
Yeah, you
years.
could basically we've had
So what
Yep.
happened in those last 3 years? I mean, if we give credit to somebody who's sitting to your right and right in front of me, right?
right, correct.
I mean, and you know, between our marketing person who's the producer of the show and Chris Larson who's the professional at Osgood, we've had 3 of the best 4 years since they came on staff.
There you go.
It
Exactly.
doesn't take very long to figure out what's going on.
That
Way to go,
depend-
Greg.
that
We just
depend-
lost our jobs.
That in the pandemic, that worked out pretty good. Yep.
Well, obviously I have my coat on, so I'm freezing to death anyway.
But
No,
no,
but golf's in an awesome spot, and we say that all the time. It now. I think the difficulty is going to be how do we maintain that. You know, we talk about that quite a bit. We have a captivated audience. It's up to us not to screw it up. So, I think that as far as the golf courses are concerned this year, the shape of the golf courses were fantastic. The product was awesome. I feel like all 3 of us provided, I'm going to do a little patting on the back, I guess, here. All right. But I think all 3 of us provided a really good league offering along with events. I mean, there was something every time that we were on this podcast, we were talking about all the events that you could be playing in, whether that be juniors, seniors. We haven't even dove in on all of the junior golf that was played this year. I mean, it was a really productive golf season. So it's exciting, and I'm telling you what, like even though the snow is flying right now, I'm ready to go for I'm ready to start planning for the next one, for the next golf season. You know, and I'm excited to talk about what we have cooking for junior golf next year. I think that's going to be, I won't let the cat out of the bag yet, but I do think that there's some really fun stuff down the pipeline. So all in all, golf's in a really healthy, good spot. What other stats do we have on the, I mean, we did 147,000 rounds of golf. And then what did we have for the range ball one? It always just blows my mind. Did we actually calculate out the range balls for the year?
We did. I need Greg to cross
Greg
check
math.
my math, but I have 5,179,650 range balls.
5 million range balls. So is
5.2 million.
okay. So that includes like those range exchanges, right?
Yep.
So like if you had a token, like an old token and all that. I'm pretty sure that doesn't include, like when we have like our Park District Junior Golf program out there. So I mean, there's more balls.
Correct.
I mean, there's more balls being hit. That's just technically what's been registered through the machines. Is that also calculated through the tills, or is that just the E-range
Both.
machines? That's both.
Yep.
Okay, so we're at 5 million. What?
5,179,650.
Holy cow!
Matt, how many of those did you hit?
I was thinking when she threw that number, I was thinking right away, man, what if I even had 50 of those?
Shane, Tori had more than you.
I
Yeah.
think Tori hit more golf balls
Remember
just in
that
her
one
practice
time?
session.
Well, remember that one time I accidentally got 2 large
That's
buckets?
right.
I hit every single one.
Oh,
5 million golf balls.
I'm just amazed. Like when I look out on our driving range and our range continues to get busier and busier. I can't imagine not getting over to your place hardly at all in the summertime
Oh.
of what it must look like there on a weeknight because
Did I
Oof.
send you guys that picture of that September range session? It was like the middle of July. It just doesn't stop. We obviously, once the golf season, or excuse me, the school year started, we definitely start dying down, with the exception of like high school practices. But yeah, you catch that like odd day in September, and that whole thing is like 3 deep, and it's just it's a giant driving range. Um, we had to get to the point where we were only we were running out of range balls towards the end of the year. I don't know how your guys' inventory was. We
But
always
you only
talk
have
about that.
1,200, so
Right.
don't worry about it.
If you're listening, yeah. Um, but we had to go down to like one range machine because we couldn't stay on top of filling 2 range machines because but we had no inventory, and then by the time we'd fill both machines, you'd get a couple of buckets here and there, and then one range machine would be empty. So yeah, staying on top of the range this year was crazy. Have you guys ever figured out how many range balls you lose in a year? That would be another fun statistic. What do you think as far as range balls?
I'm gonna say around 5 to 7,000.
So you think your range you lose 5 to 7,000?
I'm sorry, 3 to 5,000. 3,000 to 5,000.
Okay. Yeah, we're definitely north of that.
Oh my goodness, you got to be
So
closer to 15.
this year we actually doubled. So we did the pre-book for next year, and so this year we were 1,000 dozen. We ordered 1,000 dozen this year. Next year we're going to 2,000 dozen, just so that way we can stay on top of it. And to give you an idea, there our range. So that's 24,000 range balls, right? Um, we ended up doing the math on our 2 range machines. 24,000 range balls will fill both of those range machines, and they're big on the inside. When you actually, that's a lot of golf balls. I can't even imagine if you spent a day and you put out 24,000 range balls on that driving range, what that thing would look like. But we'll go through them. That's the nature of it. People are hitting a lot of golf balls, and people that's how people are practicing now. That's how they're utilizing their spare time. So, how many range balls do you think you're going through?
It's hard to tell. We do lose quite a few though, because we put all new golf balls in this year. So we had
Yeah.
1,000 dozen golf balls. We usually don't go and replace that many every year, but the last year in 22 was a hard year to get range balls. We ended up not getting ours until the fall, deep in the fall, actually about closing time. And someone came after closing in 22. So we got all of those, and we'd already sent in our order for 23 to get 500 dozen. So we put 1,000 dozen. We cleared our thing. All brand new range balls begin this year. And I would say right now that I wouldn't be surprised if we've lost probably at least 10%. And when I say lost, I mean, some, you get some soft conditions, some could be underground. Obviously, some get outside the perimeter, and when grass gets long, sometimes you might get a few mowing on up. They do the best they can to try to pick that on those days, but you'll lose a few to that. But sadly, we lose a lot, basically just what I will just call theft. And people don't realize is that
So true.
So I think we should have nothing's going to happen to you, but let's drop all your range balls off at the golf courses. Stay.
yeah, I mean,
We should.
we just
That's a great
And we
idea.
understand that you're just trying to help us, pick up balls that are outside the parameters, and you're not doing anything wrong. Don't worry about it. But how about if we just let's bring back our golf balls to the driving range today?
Yeah, and I don't know, some people probably don't realize you are renting basically those golf balls for that facility for that day. And so what we've seen like in our range is by this fall now, we're going through the golf balls and we may have 9 to 10 to maybe even up to a dozen different brands of golf balls. We started with 2.
Yep.
And so, and we're getting some that could be limited flight golf balls that are meant for certain facilities. We've gotten just a bunch of others. And so for us to maintain, good quality of range ball, we would like to kind of just keep our golf balls on our driving range. And so, I think a lot of people, we've seen golf balls with, people have found them around the golf course. So people obviously are taking them, playing them. Some people are, they might grab a large basket, get through half of them, and they'll probably just put them in their golf bag thinking they're going to hit them next time. Well, they might not hit them next time at our range. They could go across the river. They could go over to Edgewood, Osgood, whatever. Well, that means we're getting shorted on range balls, just like every other range that you do that to. So we would really appreciate it to spread the word.
And
you hit
I've
range
got like
balls.
7 different brands of range balls in my range.
Yeah.
Maybe more,
Yeah.
actually. What
and the expense of range balls, just so people understand, in the last 2 years, range balls range ball cost has doubled.
Yeah.
Doubled.
This is,
So I mean, there is some other repercussions on the other end of that when we lose 5,000 range balls within our, and we have to replenish those, and that cost has doubled.
yeah.
The other thing that I find a lot too, and you're not just paying that fee that you're paying isn't just paying for that bucket of range balls.
Correct.
We have got staff that are constantly picking, and you have to pick it often. We have golf maintenance that is mowing that range often. They are also filling divots, and filling divots and maintaining the tee is very, very important. So the other thing that is really appreciative is we find a lot of personal golf balls out on our driving range. So we would also prefer that you do not bring your own golf balls to hit on the driving range because you are also using a lot of turf. So once again, when you come to the facility, you want to use your own golf balls to chip and putt with, that's one thing, but we prefer that they stay off the driving range because that also adds additional labor too as we're going through those to remove those golf balls. So we might have to do an education next spring.
Yeah.
But that being said, I mean, we really appreciate all the people that have been out and utilizing the facilities, practicing, to all the customers that were season pass members and guests. And it was terrific. Once again, I just amazed at how many new faces that I'm seeing, and most of those being probably local, but then also those a lot that have traveled through. But it's greatly appreciated, and hopefully, like I said, we'll keep providing some fun programming to make it enjoyable for them, and we'll keep growing the game.
What is, just one more hit on the driving range here, what is the lifespan of a golf ball?
On
I'd-
a range ball?
Yep. What's a lifespan? Sorry. What's the lifespan of a range ball?
I think it varies depending on the golf ball.
Yep.
For us, we have to have limited flight golf balls. So their lifespan tends to be a little bit shorter, I think, than the other balls are. But again, our range machines and our fences and our pickers that we use are hard on golf balls
Mhm.
as well. So ideally, we would do what Matt does and replace them every year. Probably doesn't happen just because we don't have enough. So I think at Fargo Parks we do a good job. If we have range balls that are 3 years old, that would be probably some of the
Oh my
oldest ones
gosh.
we have. Would you agree with that or not?
I think you'd be hard fought to find a range ball that's
Yeah.
3 years old. Actually, that would be it. So. This is off of Golf Digest, but it says that ball cores are commonly designed to withstand at least 100 strikes at 125 miles per hour. So that's going 125 miles an hour. That's going before cracking. Basically, that's 7 rounds of tiger-like drives. So that being said, and I think Mark over at Sweet Shots, I think they did some testing in their simulators, and I think they said somewhere around 400 strikes is the lifespan. That's when it's going to start cracking. So when you start thinking about that, how much longevity you get out of a range inventory, and we start calculating that we did 4 million.
5.2.
It's so crazy, So yeah, it's no wonder those golf balls get recycled so often. But yeah, I'm totally down, by the way, for any time that we want to have this anonymous drop off. Just drop off your basket of range balls because we could use them. Okay, what other stats do we got? What other crazy stuff happened this year?
That's kind of hole in ones. We
Oh,
only
yeah.
know Greg's unless.
Well, Chris knows.
I got
his.
mine. Yep. Matt, do you have yours?
Yeah, I'm just going to make something out of it. We had 923.
So is that second best year then?
I have no idea.
How many hole in ones did you have at Edgewood?
6.
6?
Yep.
I thought you would have had more than that.
Nope. That's a lot.
That's a lot at Edgewood?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think we've gone years where we've had 0.
What?
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Yes.
I would think you'd have a lot of hole in ones out there.
Nope.
Okay. So you had 6. How many did the Zag have?
11.
Okay.
Tied you.
Is that more? Is that more than usual?
Yes.
11?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep. We had more. So El Zagel had a little over 21,000 rounds. That's the most rounds they've had in a long time.
Cool.
Yep.
The other question I had too, because you had a streak going on today, or not today, this year. You had a streak going on this year where it was like every day for a week. Where did that end?
6 days in a row.
6 days in a row, there was a hole in one.
Yeah.
Was it the same guy?
I don't believe we had any repeats.
That's cool.
Not that at least not that I was told.
So most aced hole. Do you know that one?
I don't.
Okay. We had a whole bunch of ties at Osgood. So yeah, we had 11 hole in ones, which for us, that's the most that since I've been there. I don't know prior to, I don't know if that's on trend or not. But yeah, oddly enough, we had this, and this doesn't, since I've been there, this hasn't happened. Hole number 9 was aced, which is super, super tough. Every hole at Osgood, every par 3 at Osgood was aced,
Nice.
including the loop. So
I don't.
C was not obviously, but yeah, every par 3 at Osgood was aced.
I don't think we had an ace on every hole at El Zagle. And I know we didn't have an ace on every hole at Edgewood. That's a par 3. So we got plans to do better next year.
And if you had to guess, how many hole in ones did you have out at Rose Creek?
I don't even have an educated guess. It seemed like quite a few, but I don't know if that's like, double digits or where it was. Same thing at Prairiewood, because for a while there we were sending in what I thought was a fair share of requests for certificates.
That's
to
cool.
Our rec department, but
So are people getting better at golf, or why is there more hole in ones?
I think it ends up being, once again, as far as opportunities,
Ratio.
the more rounds you play, the more opportunities there might be. So that might be part of it as well. So I imagine even like when we looked at the numbers once again, I'm sure even post COVID, the Zags got to be even pretty huge as far as rounds count compared to where it had been in the past.
Yep.
I mean, there was a while there, like just post COVID, where I couldn't believe how crazy busy it was,
So now that we're wrapping up the golf season, what do we have planned for the off season? What are you guys going to be doing this off season?
Tori is going to work on her golf game.
She promised.
Sure.
She doesn't know that yet.
Where?
Now she knows it.
Where?
Are we going to do it? We
can do it.
We should do a speed training episode. You guys down for that?
I would.
Yeah.
That
might have to be like YouTube
it.
Shorts or
I
something.
need it. I need speed.
We need to figure out a way to do some indoor stuff, like video wise, and then just
Maybe Courts
piece
would let
that
us hang out at their place.
Yeah.
Or Metro Rec.
Or Metro
As
Rec.
long as it's not booked.
Yeah, Courts would be better if we could. Can we maybe we can steal a racquetball court one day for a little while.
That'd be good. Are you guys going to do anything this off season as far as train? Are you guys going to stay sharp, or are you just going to any plans?
I have plans to train some.
Okay.
Because I had a bigger birthday this year. I turned 60, and my level of
You can shoot your age soon. I told you this. You could do that at Osgood.
for 9.
My
My mobility
18 holes at Osgood. You could
my
do it.
mobility has decreased significantly. So I either need to. No, I knew I have some plans to be better.
Good.
How's that?
That was good.
That was vague as all get out right there.
do you want to be good, Danny, or do you want to be bad?
I want to be good. Danny. And I live close to Courts Plus, so
Right.
their staff is always very helpful at helping me try to get better at my body. So
Do they laugh?
they do significantly.
Here comes McCullough again.
Partially, it's the blue legs that kind of throw them off. But so yes, I do, and my game has gotten not better because of it.
Okay.
And gravity is winning.
Yeah.
And I need to slow gravity down a little.
I can see it already. Greg's walking in. McCullough right away. The guy comes up with a defib and starts following him.
Oh, for sure. They just hand it to me. They actually hook it up before I went in there. Watch out, Kelly Kissel. I'm coming.
Yeah, and so flexibility.
Oh,
That's
so bad.
That's the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing this off season?
Matt,
I need to do something, but I'm not making any predictions.
So any
That's-
suggestions people might have, we're open,
Well,
right?
I mean, if we knew anybody who has some history on yoga or Pilates,
Pilates.
it would be very beneficial to us. I don't think we do, but if we did,
What do you think,
it would
Tori?
be
Could we get
helpful.
someone in here that could help us out with that type of thing?
Yeah, we probably could find someone.
Sure. Okay. So, yeah, I think I'm going to hit speed training this year. I did not do it last season.
And did you notice a difference?
Huge.
I mean,
huge difference.
I was fortunate to play with you a couple times. I never noticed the difference,
Yeah,
but
whatever.
you kept saying there was a difference.
Oh my God.
So that went from like 335 to 305.
No,
Is that
no,
what you're
not
saying?
even close. But yeah, the difference in and I think too with when we were talking with Jamie Dunlap, our ping rep, he's on some speed training right now, and he had kind of the same concerns too. Is that you can do speed training, you can get after it for like 2 weeks, but if you don't do it for 2 weeks after, it's like there's a serious amount of atrophy that happens pretty quickly. Like you have to stay on a schedule and do it for, I would say, 2 months before you can really feel like you've got like some solid gains there, because you're training your body to move quicker. It's not like it's not like you're building muscle, although that helps, but you are just training your body to have that more athletic response, that quicker response continually. And it just doesn't happen, in a week or two. So you can gain speed very, very quickly, but you can lose it just as fast. So yeah, my plan, this is like kind of like a New Year's resolution.
It's out there
type
now
deal.
forever, so you have to do it.
I have to do it. So I'm going to get in on some speed training because it was rough this year. Now I didn't play that much golf. I think I had a total of 11 rounds, which 9 of them were events, or 8 of them were events. So it's not like I was really putting in any time, but it's tough when you don't see the ball go where you feel like you should be able to get the ball to go, you know? So anyways, yeah, that's my one thing. I gotta get faster, and I gotta get more flexible because I am not getting any younger either.
And we have, I mean, again, we're gonna plug Courts Plus because it's Fargo Parks,
Right
right?
on.
They have great trainers there that will help you if they can help me. And I literally one year I really did it, and it helped so much. And I don't know why we don't continue to do it when there's such. I mean, it was very beneficial. I don't know why we don't keep doing it, but if you need help with it, they can help you. We have simulators everywhere now that you can work on speed training and play a little more golf. So it is important as we play more. We talk about this in our meetings. Let's try to get people to play one more round, and we're so thankful this year that they did that. That one round, we want you to be enjoying it more because that may lead to more rounds even then. We have ghosts.
We do. What else do we have to add on this one, guys? We're talking our cadence, our plan right now that we got an off season of sorts, we're kind of looking at doing once a month, I think is going to be kind of our cadence for these podcasts, and then along with hopefully providing, I would still like to get us like some video content so that way we can do some kind of fun stuff. Tori, you good with that?
Yep.
You all right?
I think anybody listening, if you've got anything you'd like to hear about, whether it's off-season training, some sort of, whether it's instruction or any other ideas, provide us some content, because we do have some great resources outside the three of us as well that we could always bring into the picture, and so I think already it'd be a good one, like you talked about, is possibly even some of the off-season workouts, whether it's Pilates, yoga, doing
I
court staff.
can't wait to see you doing some Pilates, Matt.
Yeah, me neither. And so,
But
bring us some ideas.
Yeah, if people reach out to us in any way, we will respond and get you video content of what you're after. So
Oh boy.
And we were talking about as far as frequency, once again, too, it'll be kind of fun because hopefully maybe our next session or the session after, we just sent out, Tori and marketing staff did a great job of putting out a nice survey. We got a really good percentage of people responding back, which was awesome. We had a lot of really positive stuff and some things possibly we could work on too. And we could probably address even some of those things as well. And maybe what we're going to plan for 24 as we get going. And like you said, releasing some of the things that we've got in the bag right now
Yeah.
and talk about some of those things.
I think we're
upcoming
going to
months.
sneak one more in here because Matt Cook and I are taking a little trip here 2 weeks from tomorrow. We'll do
All right.
a little offsite
You guys going to be
surprise video.
going live?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we'll be live, but we will.
What is the date on that?
I'm going to promise we'll have some video content if Tori's okay with that. Yeah. What's that?
What's the date on that?
We leave November 11th.
Okay.
2 weeks from tomorrow.
Perfect.
First round is November 12th.
You know, if Tori and Chris would be in, there might be an opportunity possibly do something live.
Yeah.
You and I could kind of tune in.
Oh, we can
via
do it. We could do it live.
Zoom or
but-
something like that. So it might be kind of
Yeah.
us being like in a rainstorm. It's 45
We'll have to work that
degrees.
one out. I think that would be fun.
Okay.
Where are you going?
We're going to Bandon Dunes, Oregon.
I've never heard of it.
Are you kidding? We talked about that all last year.
She doesn't listen to us when we're here.
We'll get you up to speed. All right. You guys have anything else to add for this one?
Nope.
There's
Happy
some fun
Halloween.
stuff cooking.
Happy Halloween.
Merry
Are we
Christmas.
going to do a haunted episode? No. All right. Well, here you send it off. You send it off. Hey,
I thought
we
you were
haven't
going
even
to sing a
even,
song. I thought you were going to sing for us, Matt.
Were you going to do a
No.
T Swift song?
That's what I thought.
I think I would just say, hey, everybody. Thanks for a great golf season. We look forward to seeing you in our next episode. What do we all do again? We thumbs up. We
Do it. No,
Peace out.
this is what I want to hear. This is what I want to hear. What are the three
subscribe
things?
to us.
Yeah. What are the three
Like
things?
us.
Like us on Facebook.
Like us on Facebook.
Yeah. Subscribe. Smash that subscribe button on
Smash
YouTube.
that on YouTube.
And follow us on.
Spotify.
There you go. Nailed it. Even Tori's giving you a golf clap. All right.
First solid hit I've hit all year long.
This is Greg, Matt, and Chris signing off from Muni Misfits. We will catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in.